So firstly we got set up here just 4 poles, set about 3 feet apart just to walk through to start with. It's always good, sometimes the horses are a little bit spooky to start off with your grid exercises in the walk. And here we're just using a little different exercise to help the horse just stretch and bend his ribs a little so he's nice and soft, elastic, to get our first 3 points in our scale, which is rhythm, suppleness, contact, before we can move on any further. So it's just practicing the transitions as well. Then we can move on to just the trot, and they're set about 1.4 metres apart, so 1 pace and say a quarter. Just set the way they are, just allows you to bend their ribs, apply your inside leg, keep them stretching, keep them focused because you've got your poles set up there. Makes your training a little different and a little bit more interesting. This horse is keeping a really nice rhythm, stretching nicely over the poles. Now here's another type of horse. She's a lot bigger than the previous one. So we've got our poles set about 1.6, which she finds quite easy. So your poles are going to be adjusted to the type of horse that you're riding. This horse, the same as the other ones, keeping a nice rhythm, just using the change of direction to bend her ribs and keep her stretching to the contact. Rhythm, suppleness and contact. So here's our next exercise, trot poles on the circle. These are really good. We've just started with them on the ground. These again are about 1.4 for this horse again. Just that she keeps a nice rhythm, stays in the centre of the poles, maintains the bend, keeps stretching, uses her back and her stomach muscles as she's going over the poles. Here's a little shot of our next exercise, just raised trot poles. Good. Now I just started off in rising trot, just to let her back come a little loose so she can use her back a bit more. But you can do these in sitting as well. Same thing, helps build the stomach muscles, keep them stretching, maintain the bend. It's very good using this exercise on the circle to help maintain that softness through their ribs. Here's our other horse, and her trot poles are set a little bit further apart as well. Again, they're probably about 1.6 metres. So it's about 1.5 paces. Good, and the exercise is showing that she's got good elasticity, she's bending her ribs, she's staying soft to the contact. Very alert. Good. Very good. Rhythm, suppleness, contact. Whatever you do. Now here's our first exercise to help develop and improve the shoulder in. It's called shoulder 4, which is just a little bit of flexion, as you can see here, and the flexion makes the hind leg step between her 2 front legs, so it engages the hind leg a little more. But with the flexion, allows the rider to drive on a little more with the inside leg, and using your seat, your inside seat bone, you can actually push the inside hind leg a little underneath, which is how we're going to ride the shoulder in. Now something else you can add in as well to help develop the shoulder in is little 10-metre circles like this. So that's the circle, shoulder 4. Good girl. And circle. So your circle, or breaking your shoulder in up with little circles like this, helps you to get the position of the horse right. You can get the positioning right. Here we're moving on to shoulder in. See how there she just swings her quarters out a little bit further, a little bit too far out the outside leg. So she's almost doing a leg yield. So just do the circle, reposition her body with my inside leg. And that time it came a little bit too much with the inside leg that she didn't keep her quarters on the track. But a little bit of practice and you just keep recircling and then re-ask for the position you want. That's better. Good. Much better. That's what we want.
Whatever you do.
Now here's some exercises to help improve our horse's length and trot. So same with the shoulder in, that we're going to use the little small circles to break up the exercise. So here our first lengthen rushes at the start. She comes a little bit hollow, doesn't come through from behind. So then we use the circle, keep her relatively straight, so not too much bend that you can control the hind legs, and then back out in your lengthen. And these sort of sections of circle help you to ride transitions within the pace as well. These transitions within the pace are going to help you to develop that engagement and impulsion, which is our next step in our training scale as well. Rhythm, suppleness, contact and impulsion. Yeah, she's active there behind, a little bit too active there. But this diagonal you'll notice the transitions within the pace. There's a little forward, and then back, and then forward. Good. Now she just stays in balance and she doesn't run out the front. Now a little bit of practice with those sort of exercises. There's your transition back again. That she's just really listening to the half halts, and that when you apply the leg, that the hind legs step under, not that she runs out in front like she did on that first lengthen. This is better. Good. And she's much more balanced on the way out as well. Now a little stretch.
Whatever you do, I'll do it too. Show me everything and tell me how.
So our first exercise to help improve our medium canter, I think, starts with our walk canters. So the walk canters really get the horse more active behind and more sitting. You can see with this horse that she's a little bit slow with her hind legs at the start. So we're riding just a little bit of counter flexion and then asking for the canter transition once she comes back into true flexion. But our outside leg is just controlling the quarters a little bit. She's doing well. She's concentrating and trying. Good. This is better. And what you'll notice is the hind legs start to step under a lot more and she'll be sharper, which is going to help our medium. Good girl. Now another exercise that you can do to help improve the medium canter is just making your circle smaller in the canter by just gently bringing the quarters around. For a more advanced horse you can almost come in travers or into a working pirouette. This is what's going to develop eventually, and then coming out like I am here, coming out in medium canter. Again, all these are like transitions within the pace, and just like with the trot, it's going to help them to respond to the half halts and engage the hind leg. Eventually this horse will be able to bring the quarters around a little bit more and start to sit even more. Good girl. Just lost a little bit of rhythm, but she's trying to come and sit back. Very good. And out and forward. Just keeping on the circle helps you maintain that softness without overusing the rein as you would on a straight line. And just a little stretch to give her a breather. So with these couple of exercises, you notice here how she's sitting a lot more, starting to engage, coming a little bit more uphill, and the medium comes out a lot better. Yeah, very good. And then back. These your transitions within the pace are going to help these transitions. Good. Always good with hard work just to finish with a bit something easier and going over the basics. The horses finding the contact is very important. You can see this horse is finishing nice and loose, the rhythm is good, stretching towards the contact, her expression is very good, just how we want.